Kia ora everyone, no mai hara mai, te whanganui atara, hello and welcome to Wellington, down by the waterfront. Wednesday night Hoop Sky Broadband Rapid League coming your way. The Wellington Saints up against the Southland Sharks. Hope you're well. Justin Nelson with you, sitting right alongside me is Natu Tofale, knows this part of the world very, very well. Good evening to you, hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm well, Justin. Excited about tonight's game. Saints is a team that I played for way back in the day, and this contest tonight's going to be quite interesting.
Southland NBL coming up from 7 p.m. local time here in New Zealand right now, though, the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Let's have a look at the ladder at the moment. One game played last night, and that's the way the table looks right now. Tuatara getting up last night. Giants unbeaten, the reigning champs, of course, in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. As we have a look at the second half of the ladder, early days, of course, there's a lot to play out. And you can see the Saints in 7th, and the Sharks searching for their first win, currently bottom of the table. Shark starters for this one. Scoring's been hard to come by so far, averaging just 25 points a game. Webster, Burtonshaw, who's been a good pickup. Tukaha Cooper's been an excellent pickup for the Sharks. Will Ledger and Collier. That is the way that they will start. Collier's had a pretty good start to the season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been real solid for their Rapid League team, and as well as the minutes he's had when he's come off the bench for major games. Yeah,
keep an eye out for Hayden Collier. A nice big for the Sharks. Here's the starters for the Saints. Caslow, Evans Jr., Dougal Meter, Pilcher, Plumtree and Richards. Gee, there's some young talent there, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. I'm keen to watch Evans Jr. Control the tempo of the game in this Rapid League game, so I'm expecting some pace.
And Luca Richards, one of your former Chargers.
Yeah, he's great. Luca, he's got huge potential, real big guy, solid, not afraid to back down. Yeah, I'm excited to see him play tonight.
Chemist Warehouse head-to-head. Let's have a look at the stats and how they line up for this Rapid League game tonight. As you can see, the Sharks need to do a little bit more scoring. Plumtree and Ledger looks like a good matchup.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup. Ledger's both are mobile, both are aggressive, athletic as well. So, expecting a good battle there.
There's our barter card officials for this one. Hayden Pott, great to see Hayden back in the country. He's been off working overseas for a couple of years. Amy Jo Clark and Elijah Moreko as well. So just about set for a start here. Saints and the Sharks. Sal's NBL still to come later tonight. Got to love some midweek hoops. The one thing about the start to the season this year, Natu, Mad March as it's called, 26 games in 20 days. Every single day, every single night, we're talking hoops. Great fun.
Yeah, it's great watching. It's probably my highlight of the evening when I get home, is catching up with those games.
Nothing else on, of course. Saints in the black with the gold pinstripe. The Sharks are in the very traditional Lower South Island maroon, of course, and I don't mind it. It's good.
I love the pinstripe. It reminds me of my alma mater, Wellington College, and the uniforms they have.
Set for a start, Richards and Collier, and the Saints get first use of it. Dougal Meter, 4x4 minute quarters in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Only the players involved are those coming off the bench in tonight's Sal's NBL game. Coming up short on the three-point effort, Dougal Meter. Saints get to go again. Let's see what they can do now. Spinning to the basket. Nice little block in there off the hands of Tukaha Cooper. And the Sharks will get their opening possession straight inside to the big fella. And Collier slams it down.
Yeah, Saints a little bit slow to get back in transition there.
Just the start the Sharks wanted. Evans Jr. hands it off to Richards underneath.
It's payback.
He's had some injury troubles over the years, but started to come good about midway through 2024 with the Jets. And, gee, he played some really big games late in the season last year, didn't he?
Yeah. ACL injury, and, he's coming back now. I would imagine he's still not 100%, but great rebound there from Luca.
So early stages here.
It's a great job.
And on that foul, Angie Maria Dougal Meter will head off to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. First visit of the night.
Yeah, I like his mentality there. You know, just being aggressive and trying to get to the hoop.
Couple of blocks. Couple of dunks to open the game at either end. 2 points apiece. Early stages, of course, of tonight's Rapid League game. Been a beautiful day in Whanganui-a-Tara, Wellington. Sun was out. It is the age-old saying, you can't beat it on a good day, can you? Wonderful weather. Down it goes for Dougal Meter. Of course, us locals here in Wellington will tell you that it's like this every day, won't we, Natu? Yep. Saints up early. Some indecision on the way to the basket, but it worked for Burtonshaw. And he's starting to find his feet in new colours, of course. Played for the Airs last season. Plumtree with the miss. Let's see what the Sharks can do in attack. Webster to Collier. Burtonshaw just pushing his way through. Was Dougal Meter with the foul.
Yeah, Dougal Meter trying to blow that DHO up or handoff. Unfortunately, he got caught.
Early subs for the Sharks. Here's Webster. Has built up a little bit of experience, the youngster, over the last couple of years. Richards meeting Snow up high. It was good, wasn't it? Evans Jr. on the move to his left, to his right. He's just lost a handle on that, but they will keep possession.
Just saying before, great wall up by Luca, and then again with Caslow Evans Jr. pushing the ball, keeping the pace of the game up.
Evans Jr. in his second year with the Saints. Dougal Meter in his 6th year with the Saints. Pilcher now.
Good hand.
Left it behind. Riley Snow needs a runner. They come a little late. Cooper down low. Collier swings it out. Big chance here from the corner. Burtonshaw with the 3. And the Saints now have to wait for the cavalry to arrive. Richards, 1.5 to play in this opening quarter. Richards and Collier. Nice little pass around the back. Plumtree unable to finish underneath. A little bit of a gimme in the end. And now Burtonshaw to make them pay with a 3. He can't do that. And it's going to be a Sharks ball. Early stages in this opening quarter. 4 by 4 minutes in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Sal's NBL to come later tonight between the Sharks and the Saints. And it must be said, Natu Tofale, that these are two teams that have built up some sort of a rivalry over the last 15 years, haven't they?
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there.
They shared a lot of championships, of course, through the teens. Webster. Good defense, Evans Jr. Burtonshaw now, who's been busy, ran straight into Richards. Now, who's this foul going to go on? It is on Luca Richards, maybe just stepping up. How did you see that one, Natu?
Yeah, just I would say marginally late on the close up, wall up. Yeah, no, that's a foul.
Just that step to the left by Luca Richards. Puts Burtonshaw to the Chemist Warehouse. First one is good. That gives the Sharks the lead. Low scoring opening quarter. Points hard to come by. Second one out. It's probably one thing we're starting to see a fair bit in the Rapid League. Quite often you'll have a slow patch, but then the points
reject there.
Start to flow. Caslow Evans Jr. on that baseline drive.
That baseline reject. He just...
One block to Plumtree, unable on the second. Burtonshaw a handful. Outlet, Evans Jr. Waited for Dougal Meter. And foul, Joseph Reefy, who's into the action. What have you made of the first quarter?
Yeah, I think Saints are starting to get a little bit of a flow on with their offense. And I like the tempo at which they're playing in the last two positions.
Well, that tempo often comes from Caslow Evans Jr., one of the quickest guards in the competition. Here he is. Right on cue. Got the gold boots on tonight as well. Can't finish that. Loose ball. Saints go again. Plumtree. Heke inside. And a little slap of the wrist by Collier. Saints to keep it. In fact, this might be shots. It will be shots on that third team foul as it is in this Rapid League competition. So Tyrell Cage Heke to the coloured stripe to try and extend this lead. Who are you most excited about seeing tonight? Sean Bruce, the 34-year-old's been in a bit of form.
Oh, absolutely, Sean Bruce. You know, I was a fan of his when he was playing for this, when he played for the Saints a few years back.
2018, believe it or not, 7 years ago.
And he was dominant then, and he's had a great start to the season here.
24.5 points a game in the opening two. He is only here on a short-term contract, though, Sean Bruce. Of course, the Saints are awaiting the arrival of Shea Illy, one of the very best Kiwi guards. Dying seconds here, opening quarter. Sharks, you would think, to get the last shot. Burtonshaw loves a three. Bang on target, ties it up at 8 apiece, and now maybe the Saints get an opportunity. Second to go, on the move, on the run. Caslow Evans Jr. unable to put it away. And after one in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight, it is 8 points apiece between the Saints and the Sharks. Well, on Sunday, we saw the Bulls go down to the Hawks in the NZNBL, Natu Tofale, and that was officially 12 days and 16 games into the season before every team had lost a game.
Yep. Yeah, that was an interesting result. And when you look at it, I've been watching the games over those 16 days, the teams seem to be trying to get their continuity together. So it's still early days. So this year, I believe, in my opinion, the teams are quite even at the moment. Teams are quite even. So I'm excited to see what the next 2 to 3 weeks will look like.
Competitive, isn't it? There's the large Fire Island pizza. That's this week's Sal's special, $39.99. Big pizza. Have fun getting through that. QR code and online code is right there for you. As I said, valid until next Tuesday. The large Fire Island pizza, this week's special, with thanks to Sal's. And what would a Sky Broadband Rapid League game be without this wonderful promotion? The FIBA starter with thanks to Sky Broadband, $50 a month for the first 12 months. skybroadband.co.nz. That's where you'll find all of the details. Offer is valid until 30th of June. $50 a month for the first 12 months. The FIBA starter. Chemist Warehouse stats, Natu, what are they telling us to quarter time? All locked up at 8 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, leading scorer is Dane Burtonshaw, so he's looking pretty good there. Otherwise, there's not much to write home about. The Saints are rebounding well. They're winning the rebounding battle.
Well, Burtonshaw's just added another 2 as well. So game high scorer right now. What are the field goal percentages in that opening quarter?
Yeah, the Saints didn't shoot the ball that well at 25%, and Southland Sharks marginally better at 33%. So quite even with the shooting percentage. I guess both coaches would like to see both teams create advantages so they can continually move the ball and get open looks. That's not happening at the moment.
Heke to the Chemist Warehouse. And it's not just the development of players through this Rapid League either, Natu. We see the assistant coaches grab the whiteboard. They're in charge of the Rapid League team. So Chris Tupu for the Saints is in charge, and John Auld for the Sharks. And that's another part of this competition, isn't it?
It's to develop those developing coaches, although Toops is a bit of a veteran, and it's great to see him coaching, great to see him on the sidelines. I played with Toops many years ago, so.
I must ask you the question, actually. You have been coaching the last few years. How are you enjoying the downtime, not having to go to training, 4 or 5 times a week and travelling the country for games and a little bit more time at home? How's that going?
Oh, it's good for the family.
No doubt they enjoy a bit of time with you. Pilcher to Evans Jr. Yeah. That is really quick work from the Saints there in transition.
Yeah, great hands from Pilcher. Good recognition. There goes the defensive intensity picking up. Great steal from Caslow Evans Jr. and Pilcher with the finish.
Really good from the Saints. Back-to-back baskets. And look at the defense here from Caslow Evans Jr. again. He's all over it. Saints out by 4. Big shoulder there from Collier. He was set, though, with the screen. Sharks to go again. Here is Collier for 3. That one short on the iron. Rebound, Munier. Evans Jr. is involved in everything right now. Attracts a couple. Pulls up the dribble. Hands it off. Pilcher inside. He draws contact. And the Saints are starting to get that flow that you saw late in the first.
Yeah, absolutely. They've lifted the tempo on their defense, so the defensive intensity is lifted. They're up and in, causing the Southland, the Sharks deep guards some problems. And Pilcher to the line for 2.
A lot of it being set up by Evans Jr. at the moment. Arthur Pilcher unable to complete the first. 2 points, an assist and a steal for him so far. And he misses both. Does get it back though. And a little hand in the back there from Tukaha Cooper has been spotted.
Coach John Old would be, he wouldn't be happy with that. That offensive rebound by the Saints.
Well, that's going to put Pilcher back to the line as well. So some clumsy fouls by the Sharks. There's Aaron Young watching on. New coach of the Saints in 2025, of course, previously with the Auckland Tuatara for 3 seasons. Has, I believe, been extended at the Perth Wildcats as well on the coaching staff there. So that's good news. Not just Kiwi players heading over to the Aussie NBL, but also coaches.
That's some good. Here they are, the Saints again putting that pressure on. A couple of staggered screens away, Here comes
Cooper now. Riley Snow with the screen. Cooper on the attack, pulls up, deep 2, can't finish. Saints raffle it, and again, Evans Jr. wants to run. Quickly up the floor. Heke had a sneaky look, got on the drive, athletic young man, and it goes off the glass.
Yeah, real positive move there by Heke.
And the Saints lead by 8. 1.5 to play in this opening half. Both teams still have their BNZ player timeout. Cooper. Burtonshaw, corner, 3. Snow, did he keep it in? No, he didn't.
It's a great ball. You know, Cooper got that high on ball. It was nice. He got a snake, but he was able to snake into the keyhole and then pitch for the 3. Just didn't drop.
Saw a really intense Sky Broadband Rapid League game last week involving the Saints against the Giants. That one went right down to the wire. An exciting contest. We've already had a few 1-point games in this competition so far this season. Plumtree, heavy lifting underneath. Just reaching in over the top, Will Ledger. So Sharks committing a lot of fouls at the moment. Saints, plenty of points from the stripe. In fact, they're 8 of 10. So that really is the difference in the game. Keelan Boone and Josh Alec watching on. Or Josiah Alec, I should say. They've both been enjoying the first couple of games for the Sharks this season in the Sal's NBL. Some good numbers for those two. Sharks, of course, 1 win, 1 loss. Saints also 1 win, 1 loss. So big game coming up tonight. Caleb Asbury, the coach, Jonathan Yim, wearing the team colours over the white collared shirt. Turnover. He won't be happy with that. And another 2 for the Saints. Troy Plumtree, the beneficiary.
Saints turning up the heat now. Yeah, they're just really putting pressure on denying that first pass.
10 of those 22 have come from the stripe. Plumtree back there for the bonus. And this second quarter has absolutely belonged to the home team. 15-2 run now. Let's see what the Sharks can do late.
Collier.
Oh, just ducked his head underneath Luca Richards.
That's a great move by Collier.
It's a bit of a different way to get through the defense.
And Luca was like, oh, where's he gone?
Definitely needed that basket. Plumtree. Dougal Meter back to Plumtree, left it behind, picked up by Webster. Sharks now on the move. Webster pulls it out. Collier doesn't need a second invitation. That one won't go down though.
And here with the ball over to Dougal-Meter.
Let's see what Plumtree can do here. Mounier just backs it out. Shot clock is about 5 seconds inside the game clock here. As I said, both teams with their BNZ player timeout. Dougal-Meter turns it over. Well done in the lane, picked up by Webster. He calls the BNZ player timeout. Sharks will advance with 7.2 after they have a chat for about 30 seconds to sort out what they're going to do here. That gives you a chance at home to scan that QR code on screen. The BNZ ticket to the big game. Scan the QR code for your chance to win tickets to come along and see the NZNBL this season. Wonderful initiative by BNZ, inspiring the next generation of players. The BNZ ticket to the big game. What do the Sharks do out of this, Natu?
Well, 7 seconds, so that's a lot of time. Well, they've maybe a backdoor high on ball here. Collier can.
Well, Cooper's ended up taking the shot, and he does, off the screen of Collier. They get a second shot at it from the corner of Burton Shaw.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Collier get the ball on a twist screen, so pick and pop, so he can take the shot. I would have also liked to see Tuka Cooper get to the rim because there was plenty of time on that one.
So Sharks with a little bit of work to do. Second quarter, well and truly belonging to the Saints. A 15-4 run. And they lead this one 23-12. Sky Broadband Rapid League sells NBL to come a little bit later on tonight. Natu Tofale, take us through the Chemist Warehouse stats to halftime in this one. What are you seeing?
Points, we're seeing Dane Burtonshaw lead with 8 points, and Tyrell Hickey for the Saints leading with 6. Troy Plumtree with 5 for the Saints. Keslow Evans Jr. 4. With the rebounds, we've got Dougal-Meter with the Saints. He's got 2 rebounds. Luca Richards 2. Plumtree 2 for the Sharks. Webster's got 2. Webster's got 3, and Burtonshaw had 3 assists. 1 each for Evans, Pilcher, and Mounier, and 1 each for Webster and Snow. Blocks, we've got Luca Richards with a block, and Plumtree with a block, and then Tuka Cooper with a block. Not
really surprising to see Richards and Plumtree up there with the blocks, and Webster's got a couple of steals as well. So Chemist Warehouse stats to halftime. Of course, the official stats partner of the NZNBL. Chemist Warehouse, great to have them with us. There's Jonathan Yim, coach of the Sharks. Early days, 1 win, 1 loss, of course, for the Sharks so far this season. They head home for their home opener this week, taking on the Jets. I think that's a Sunday game, Natu. The Jets. Let me just have a quick look here. The Sharks against the Jets on Saturday, I should say, Saturday night. 6:30 p.m. Rapid League, 7:30 p.m. NZNBL ILT Stadium, Southland. Make sure you get your tickets to that one. First home game of the season for the Sharks. I'm sure the fans will be out in their orange. They always put on a great show down there, the Sharks. And the fans are pretty wild. Is that the best way to put it? Love their hoops. Second half about to start here. Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Saints with the upper hand, 23-12. And they really did it through upping the tempo in that second quarter, didn't they?
Yep. Absolutely. Their defensive pressure. They're in a...
The Sharks in a bit of a zone at the moment.
They look like they're in a box and one with Burton Shaw on Dougal Meter.
Changing things up.
That's interesting. That's good. It's good to see.
Pilcher with the early miss. Sharks now. Cooper. Some indecision. Webster has Evans Jr. in front of him. Here's Burton Shaw. Cooper spinning, elevating. Back of the iron, gets it back. Can go again. Sends it out to Webster for three. That'll help the Sharks.
Great pass by Tukaha. And then he got the offensive rebound and was able to make that play.
The boy from Northland, Tukaha Cooper, was with the Tuatara last season. Been a wonderful addition for the Sharks. You'll see him play some big minutes tonight in the NZNBL from downtown. In and out for Dougal Meter. Distance never a problem for him, is it?
No.
Can shoot from anywhere. Rungi Mariad, Dougal Meter. Collier. And Pilcher with the hand. 2.5 to play in this third quarter. Margin at 8. Saints pulling away in that second quarter. 15-4. What adjustments have you seen so far in this third quarter?
Yeah, I think the Sharks are playing with a little bit more on offense. Sometimes I believe, they're just playing what they see, what's in front of them, instead of going to their structure. Sometimes you can go from A to B to C. It doesn't work, but if you can go, you can get to C by just skipping B. So I like the way they're playing in the third quarter by just playing what they see, and Tukaha's one of those kind of players.
Will Ledger with the block there for the Sharks. Dougal Meter now. Step back. Corner three. Webster up quickly. Collier. Ledger raffling it. Collier dribbles into trouble. Making a lot of hard work of that one, the Sharks. Had the opportunity and left it behind. Evans Jr. Well, maybe that's a 4-point play right there. Opportunity missed at one end, and then Evans Jr. makes them pay at the other.
Yeah. There's some real indecision with the Sharks at the moment. And you could see that by, Tukaha Cooper, just the look on his face where he was looking at Collier, indecision about what they're doing on the floor at the moment. So they can get some of that stuff right. There's still plenty of time. It's only a 10-point lead, and comes Caslow Evans Jr. bring the ball down.
Former Manawatu Jets head coach Natu Tafale. Stellar career in the NZNBL over the years as well, joining us on Sky Sport tonight. Caslow Evans Jr. goes from distance. Short, gets after it. Collision with Webster. Sharks come up with it. Now, Collier is actually back hurt behind play at the moment. He's holding his ribs hard. Something's happened under the basket there. Keep an eye on this. Off the rebound. Oh, I just didn't even see what happened there. Very innocuous, but he is definitely holding that right side, isn't he?
He's sort of intimating that Dougal Meter.
Bit hard to see it on that on that replay. Clearly some sort of contact. He's not happy.
Saints are now in a 2-3 zone. They come up with a steal.
Minute to play.
Good pass.
Oh, Pilcher unable to finish.
Better than that.
Reefy, outlet, should finish and does. So Sharks answering speed with speed. They bring it back to 8. Dougal Meter. Evans Jr. just so quick off that first step. Made that one hard. No whistle. There is now. Webster with the foul. Caslow Evans Jr. thought he drew contact. He's a busy man, isn't he? Let's have a look again. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Well, to be fair, Webster was in his cylinder, straight up and down.
I do like what I see from Caslow Evans Jr. He's really doing a good job of finding seams and getting in them. And I would just really like to see some of the other players get into receiver spots where they're open and they can make them play.
36 seconds to play in this third quarter. Crowd filling up ahead of tonight's Sal's NBL game here in the capital. The youngster, Heke, unable to finish. Look good, though. Here's Webster. Got the handles going on around Dougal Meter, who's just inadvertently given him a bit of a slap. Called for that foul. Hayden Collier still sitting at the moment. Here's Ledger. Joined the Sharks this season out of the Tuatara. Webster dumps it inside. Riley Snow did the heavy lifting, rewarded. He's off to the Chemist Warehouse. Another good young player coming through this system in Southland. They've made this move in the last couple of years now too, especially with Rapid League, to help develop young players in the Deep South, and we're starting to see them come through.
Yeah, I think if you look, you know, we keep saying the old cliche, you look at the Rams and what they've done with their young players, and I guess a lot of the other teams and other league teams are starting to try and replicate that in the Southland Sharks.
Hawks is a great example as well, aren't they? They've got a lot of youngsters coming through. In fact, most teams have, to be fair. The Saints, the Bulls, the Tuatara, we're seeing it a lot. Jets have got some good youngsters. Giants, great example. I mean, they obviously won the Rapid League last season. There's hardly a team, in fact, there's no teams in the competition now that aren't putting a lot of time and focus into these young local players. It's great to see.
8 seconds. He's got to make a play. Mitch's got to make a play.
Sends it over to Caslow Evans Jr. And he'll get something out of it right on the buzzer. So the Saints score a late one. Sharks a much better quarter, but they certainly wouldn't be happy with giving up this late drive to Caslow Evans Jr. 1 quarter to play in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Saints lead it by 9, 27 to 18. 6-4 quarter. Certainly they tightened up a bit, the Sharks, didn't they? But that last basket is a killer. FIBA starter, $50 a month for the first 12 months. You know what to do. skybroadband.co.nz. Get on board. The best way to watch the Sky Broadband Rapid League is with the FIBA starter. What's John Old having a chat to the Sharks about at the moment?
I would think he wouldn't be happy with the dribble penetration that Caslow Evans Jr. is getting. He can get downhill at any time of the game, so I'd be keen for him to for his guards to work on their perimeter protection, because that creates the advantage and that gets an open shot or an open layup. So I'll be working on that, and plus taking care of the ball in front in the backcourt.
He's definitely a handful, Caslow Evans Jr. Another big week, Mad March in the Sal's NBL tomorrow night. We're heading down south to Dunedin. Johnny Hilu warming up there. Nuggets taking on the Jets. The Jets have the southern swing. They're coming off that big win against the Indian Panthers a few days ago. They now play the Nuggets tomorrow night and the Sharks on Saturday night. Let's see how the Jets go on the double in the Deep South. Always a hard trip. Collier's back out there, which is a good sign for the Sharks.
Yeah, they're looking to isolate him inside. They feel he has an advantage over Tyrell Pickett. There you go, another drive by Caslow Evans Jr. And that just creates the advantage. They've just got to work on moving their feet, keeping them in front of them.
Plumtree finishes underneath. Good setup for the Saints. Here it is, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Footwork delightful around Collier from Plumtree. Another one of these young stars.
Yeah, and again, Plumtree was circling around that dunker spot and made himself available. Some good defense from Pilcher. Great pressure.
Opening points to the Saints. Fantastic attack by Tukaha Cooper. Like a bowling ball. Looks like young Heke, is it, who's copped the brunt of that. Tukaha Cooper, have a look at this on replay. No fear, in hard off the glass. And he'll go to the stripe for the bonus.
Having coached Tukaha 3 years ago, he's really an elusive ball handler, and he's really good at shifty character with the ball, so you've got to stay in front of him.
And he's playing a six-man role at the moment for the Sharks in the Southland NBL. As I mentioned, you're going to see him play some big minutes tonight. There's young Heke.
He's been in the league now 4 years, so you know he's had his so-called apprenticeship. So I think we're starting to see some of the fruits of his labour too.
Saints looking to extend.
There's zoom action.
Dougal Meter, catch and shoot. Can't complete. Tukaha Cooper getting busy now for the Sharks. Webster has to deal with Evans Jr. Now that's interesting. Wait till you see this again. I don't think Collie is actually connected there. We had a good view of it from our commentary position. I think the Sharks may be a little bit unlucky. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Watch this over the top. Oh, I'm not sure that he's actually caught him there. I just think maybe Evans Jr. caught the foot, maybe even of the dribbler. How did you see that one?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit unlucky there. I think his foot caught Collier's foot, so you got to make a call if he falls down, I guess.
Here's another look at it from a different angle. Watch this on the way through. Oh, he's just gone over the foot, yeah. So maybe that foot of Collier's was outside the defensive stance, and that's what he's been picked up for. Must say, the Barter card officials are always a bit closer than us.
Yeah, I'd give that. That was the right call. He was a bit late on moving his foot as well, so
you got to appreciate the fact that we do get multiple replays where we're sitting as well. So there's one for the Barter card officials. They're one up over us already tonight, Natu. Not a good sign. Yeah. Pilcher. Evans Jr. again. Dougal Meter curling off screens. Richards inside, outside. Dougal Meter will go late on the shot clock. Can't complete that. And I think Luca Richards is going to be called for the foul over the top here. Sharks to get it back. And it is just reaching in on that rebound. Yeah. Was almost given the benefit of the doubt until it landed in a Saints player's hands, Natu, and then Hayden Pipe stepped in and said, no, we're not going to have that.
Yeah, well, just on that, I would have liked to see the Saints reverse the ball again and get to their third side. It just becomes stagnant when you hold the ball on one side.
Cooper under pressure from Pilcher. On the drive, up and under. There was a big arm that came down there. Yeah, it's been called. Richards with the foul. And Tukaha Cooper, just in the last couple of minutes, it's almost as if he's thought, rightio, time to warm up for the Southland NBL tonight.
Starting to take over the game.
And they've held the Saints to 6 points since half-time. So whilst the scoring hasn't been prolific for the Sharks, defensively they've certainly toughened up.
Oh, definitely. It's a game now. 8 points. It's the margin.
Well, they gave away 13 free throws in the first half as well. That's definitely dried up, although there you go, Dougal Meter from the corner. Drains the three. Webster on the drive. That's a tough pass, and gee, someone on a corporate table has just worn a molten fair square across the scone.
Yeah, just before, great push by Keslow Evans and finding Meter in the corner. He's hugging that corner.
2 to play, moving screen there, Luca Richards. And I reckon that's his third foul of the quarter. Yeah. So you can be fouled out. That's his fourth for the game. It is his fourth. That's going to put the Sharks to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. And I reckon the last 3 fouls in the game have been called on this man, the Saints number 24. Well, it's not going to put the Sharks to the line. (32-22). Thought that would have been shots. Burtonshaw.
2 shots.
Well, surely this is going to be shots now.
I think.
Yeah. Dane Burtonshaw will go to the stripe. What have you made of his game in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight? Dane Burtonshaw, of course, played with the Airs last season.
He's been solid. He's been really solid. He's got 8 points. He's had a really solid game today. Shooting the ball well.
All of those 8 came in the first quarter, first half, I should say. Second one here goes down. And we're back to 8. With just over 1.5 to play. Not out of the question. Although they've got to get some stops. Evans Jr. Hecker wasn't expecting the pass. And now they're on the move again, the Sharks. Sensing the urgency. Cooper. Corner, Webster for 3. Nearly went down. Saints collide on the rebound. And now Plumtree pulls it out. Smart decision. Time's on their side. Evans Jr. Dougal Meter. That one short of the target. They go again though. Pilcher did well. And a foul called on the Evans Jr. drive.
Oh, don't you hate that? You know, you play great defense for 22 odd seconds and then
hand him another 24.
You give him another 24.
Or in this case, it's going to be shots. Pass inside was good. Didn't see a lot of contact there. Good shot of the Caslow Evans Jr. kicks. Sparkling out there at the Chemist Warehouse. Would you have worn them back in your day, Natsu?
Hell no.
Down it goes. To be fair, they wouldn't have been available back in your day, mate. Shoes have come a long way since your playing days. Well, Collier was setting the screen there and didn't see the ball coming. A little bit about what you were talking about before, Natsu. Hayden Collier was playing to the ABC and not expecting something else to occur. Sharks to keep it. 53 seconds to play. Both teams have their BNZ player timeout. Every point counts, of course. Cooper swarmed. A lot of contact between Cooper and Dougal Meter. In the end, Burtonshaw, he's just gone, okay, I'll take this. Off he went to the hoop.
There are a number of players you could have called a foul on right there, but from both sides.
He's just going to get the ball cleaned up. Dougal Meter says, let me do it. Margin at 8. Sal's NBL to come. Wednesday night hoops between the Saints and the Sharks. Both on the double this week. Last week of Mad March. Sharks head home on Saturday night to take on the Jets. Saints going to Christchurch. Sunday afternoon date with the Rams. That game also live on Sky Open from 3 p.m. Should be a beauty. Evans Jr. Again, a handful for the Sharks. Can't put it away. Sharks come quickly. In fact, too quickly for Dane Burtonshaw. Errors.
What is it with players? Like, you're taught to get your hands up. Watch the ball come into your hands.
You sound like a coach now. BNZ player timeout called by Caslow Evans Jr. 12 to play. Use the clock very well. There's the QR code on the screen. BNZ ticket to the big game. Scan the QR code for your chance to win tickets to this season's Sal's NBL games, giving away tickets up and down the country. Fantastic for the youngsters, great for school groups, community groups, sports groups. Get your friends together, scan that QR code, and you could be off to the Sal's NBL with thanks to BNZ, inspiring the next generation of basketballers, all the boys and girls out there. And gee, there's a lot of them coming through. Tons of them. Here we go. What do the Saints do here late? 12 seconds to play in this one. Win number 2 of the Rapid League season coming their way. Webster just slapping at it. Caslow Evans Jr. pleading for a whistle 3 or 4 times. Finally gets one. And he'll get a couple of shots. What this will also do will make sure the Sharks get the ball back and advance off their own BNZ player timeout. There's Caslow Evans Jr. You can see on the top left of the singlet the black stripe for KB, Kevin Braswell, of course, who passed away about a month ago now. Heke, late shot. So that'll do us. Saints get the win 34-26. Their second win of the Rapid League season. The Sharks are still searching for their first win of the season. Second quarter did the damage, put the foot down. Sharks certainly a lot better in the second half. But this young Saints team happy with their efforts tonight. Chemist Warehouse stats, take us through these.
Yeah, Caslow Evans with 10 points for the Saints. And Troy Plumtree with 7. Tyrell Hickey with 6. Mita with 5 and Pilcher with 4. Dane Birchenshaw with 12, leading scorer for the game. Hayden Collier with 4. Tukao Cooper 4 and Webster with 3. Riffy with 2.
Let's have a look at the rebounds. Webster with 5, Pilcher with 5. They were leading rebounders on the day. As we continue to flick through the Chemist Warehouse stats. The assists, Caslow Evans Jr. was fantastic, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was great. He basically could do anything with the ball. You know, he caused the Sharks problems when he was driving and getting to the rack or pitching for shots. Blocks, Richards 1. Steals, Caslow Evans Jr. again 2. Dugamita 1, Richards 1, Pilcher 1, Manuel 1. Overall,
good win for the Saints.
good win for the Saints and the Sharks.
And they're
still
out on
wanting
the
to get
floor,
theirs.
warming up ahead of tonight's Sal's NBL game. There's Hiram Harris. Expect a big one for him. Earring comes out as he prepares for tonight's clash with the Sharks. So Sky Broadband Rapid League, run, one and done. The Saints get it 34-26. We look ahead now, 7 p.m. local time, Wednesday night hoops in the Sal's NBL. Make sure you come back and join us for that. The Saints and the Sharks coming up.
Who's got a torch on their phone? Let's light them up. Let's light them up, man. Where you at? Surely more. Surely. Charge your phone. Couple more. No one in the conference. Saints family, it's showtime! So welcome back to TNB Arena as we continue our 2025 campaign. Please make some noise and welcome the Stars back onto McFadden Court. They're the 12th time Southland NZNBL champions.
Kia ora everyone, nā mai hara mai, te whanganui atara, hello and welcome to Wellington, capital city of New Zealand. On the waterfront, the home of the Mills Albert Wellington Saints. Wednesday night hoops in the NZNBL. Tonight they take on rivals, the Southland Sharks. Mad March as these two teams look for their second win of the season. Justin Nelson with you, sitting right alongside me, former coach, of course, in the NBL, former star player in the NBL, Natu Tofale. Great to have you with us. Welcome Wednesday night.
You're too kind.
That's my job. Always here to be kind. Hey, this is a good one for you to sink your teeth into. Here's the mixandpick.com poll QR code on screen. All of our viewers out there would love to hear from you. Who do you think is going to win tonight? And at the moment, Natu, 81% going with the Saints. How do you see it?
It's well, for both teams, it's a pivotal game, right? But I'm tending towards the Saints.
You're in that 81%.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Well, there's a split there, 1-7 or +8 points on the win. What do you think?
It'll be +8.
Well, there you go. All right, mark that down. Sharks fans won't be happy with you. You are a former Saints player, of course. Here's the ladder at the moment. Early stages of season 2025. Look at the Hawks. 3-1 after that 2-point thriller against the Bulls. The Fi got a win last night by 2 over the Tuatara. They sit second on the ladder. Bulls, Rams, Jets and Airs. As we flip over to the second page, the big news is every team has lost a game at the moment. The Giants, Tuatara and the Panthers still searching for their first win of the season. 7-8 is where we're at tonight. The Saints and the Sharks both with a 1-1 record so far. Mad March, of course, 26 games in 20 days. It continues tomorrow night. The Nuggets up against the Jets. The Jets have the Southern swing. They also play the Sharks on Saturday night. Panthers at home Friday night to the Fi. Giants at home to the Bulls. What a big game that is. The Giants searching for their first win of the season. The Bulls coming off that dramatic loss to the Hawks. And speaking of the Hawks, Saturday afternoon action, they take on the Airs. As I said, Sharks and Sharks and Jets on Saturday night. 2 games on Sunday, Rams and Saints. That game also live on Sky Open. And Tuatara take on the Giants in the late one on Sunday. Starters for the Sharks. Zoe Burton in game number 200 tonight. Congratulations to Zoe Burton. Caleb Asprey, Johnny Halou, Josiah Alec and Keelan Boone. That's how the Sharks will start. They are looking to bounce back from that loss to the Rams. I caught up with Zoe Burton before tonight's game, and as we said, game number 200. Here he is. Well, Zoe, let's get the important things out of the way. Congratulations, 200th NBL game tonight. I'm sure you got another couple of hundred left in you.
Yeah, I'd love to say that. So it's been a long haul though, but yeah, it's obviously a very great milestone for myself and my close ones and everyone that has helped me get to this point, to be on court for that long. And yeah, I'm just appreciative of the moment, and yeah, obviously, like I said before, a great milestone for myself. Yeah.
Early days, we've seen some good and we've seen some bad. What did you take out of that last game against the Rams?
I think for us, Rams are very physical with us. So for us going into this game, we're trying to ramp up the physicality, be more mentally prepared for it as well. And like you said, it's still early days, but it was good to go through that battle with the Rams last week, winning 2 championships. They've got the blueprint on how to do it. So hopefully we've learnt from it and we get a chance 3 days later to back it up with a game instead of waiting a week. So yeah.
No love lost between the Sharks and the Saints. Best of luck tonight.
Not at all, Justin. Thank you.
He's been a wonderful player for so many years, hasn't he?
He has, and he's still doing Burton things. Still shooting the ball, still, contributing in points.
And he's one to watch, no doubt about that tonight. When he gets a hot hand, look out. Let's look at the Saints starters as they get set to fly on a Wednesday night. Bruce Liafa, Marshall, Harris and Mazinski. It's a starting 5 that's starting to settle. We know Shea Illy still to come in. Sean Bruce here on a short-term contract, but what a start to the season he's had.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's been fantastic.
25 points a game. Nick Marshall, one of the imports for the Saints this season. out of Adelaide in Australia. I had the chance to have a chat to him a short time ago. Here he is. Nick, welcome to Wellington. It's a little bit like Adelaide, nice and quiet. How have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, I've loved it so far. It's been actually some nice weather here, nice and sunny, so it's been cool to be able to go out, explore around, have my partner here as well. And we got a good group of guys, so they've been helping me settle in too. Similar to the Sharks, the Saints are 1-1. What have you taken from those two games? Yeah, we're just still early in the season. We're still figuring it out together. We need to be better defensively and find actions that work for us. And then also defensively, we're not one of the best teams right now, so we're just still figuring it out. But yeah, we think we got a good shot tonight and we're going to bring it. Sharks and Saints have had a huge rivalry over the last 10 or 15 years. Has that been spoken about during the week or just business as usual? Just business as usual. Yeah, we're just looking forward to tonight, get out there, have some fun and continue to get better as a group. Best of luck. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There he is, Nick Marshall, getting prepared with the Saints. Okay, Natu, let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head for this one. And there's one stat that stands out to me more than any other, and it's the one right at the bottom of the list there.
Yeah, the Saints get to the line 29 times. That's a contrast to the 8 for the Sharks. So the Saints are aggressive. They love to get to the rim. They've got a lot of athleticism in the wings, and also with, you know, Leafa and Bruce. So that's going to be a handful for the Sharks. They're going to have to really stop fouling. Want to stop fouling, negate the fouling, and play solid defense if they're going to have some success in this game.
Particard officials Callum Welch, Sasha Nicholson and Elijah Mareko. We should mention, for those 29 times that the Saints get to the stripe, they go at 85%. For the 8 times that the Sharks get to the Chemist Warehouse, they go at 69%. So if the Saints deliver 25 to 30 trips to the stripe tonight, it's going to be tough for the Sharks.
I was talking to Aaron Young before the game, and he's keen on seeing the Saints rebound better. So, you know, they're rebounding, you know, quite well at the moment, but he feels they can get better.
So not too far away from a start tonight. Wednesday night hoops in the Sal's NBL. Saints at home to the Sharks. Now, of course, we lost a great man to this competition and to basketball, both here in New Zealand and Australia, and certainly around the world, in Kevin Braswell. He played a huge role with both the Sharks and the Saints in his time here in the Sal's NBL. And in his memory, a tribute to Kevin Braswell tonight, as the players, officials, coaching staff and the crowd here in Wellington are about to observe a moment's silence for the late, great Kevin Braswell. And you can see the players wearing the black stripe there on their uniforms tonight. We're going to join everybody now and stand and take a moment's silence for Kevin Braswell.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Fitting tribute there from the players of both the Saints and the Sharks. He was a wonderful player and coach, Kevin Braswell. So many friends, and his basketball whānau up and down the country is a big loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the pleasure of spending some time with Kevin when he transitioned into the coaching realms, and we had a number of great conversations about, you know, how to, you know, his ability to get into coaching and what that coaching looked like for him.
So the viewers tonight are going with the Saints. Let's see how it pans out. Saints in the blue, Sharks in the white. So much rivalry between these two. Settle in, relax. Wednesday night hoops, we're underway as Josiah Alex slaps it all the way back. And the Sharks will get the opening possession of the contest. Johnny Halou has spent some time with the Saints. Here's Keelan Boone. Look out for him tonight. Gets around Marshall, up and under on the reverse, can't finish, does draw an arm though. And Keelan Boone will take the first trip of the night to do some shopping at the Chemist Warehouse, and Sharks fans no doubt hoping that he can put them on the board. Sharks at home for the first time of the season this Saturday night. Grab your tickets now. They take on the Jets. Jets on the southern swing. They're up against the Nuggets tomorrow night in Dunedin.
Great opening set, high set to get Boone a shot or a drive to the basket. Well executed. It's the thing I like about Coach Yim's stuff, you know, you're just watching what they're doing. Yeah, there's some good stuff with the structure. I'm impressed.
Boone puts the first one down. And the second. So just the start the Sharks would have been looking for tonight. That foul was on Nick Mazinski, by the way. And now the Saints get their first opportunity. Bruce. Oh, turnover. Not the way the Saints wanted to start. Not often you see Sean Bruce give it up like that, but he missed Isaiah Liafa by a good 2 metres there. A rare error. Can the Sharks make them pay? Boone. Hilu with some space for three. Doesn't get the drop on it. Marshall with the rebound. Now the Saints up quickly. They will want to play with pace. Mazinski. Marshall. Good hands. Burton averages 2.5 steals a game. Game number 200. He'd love to open things up tonight with a big three. He heads out to the right corner.
Horn set with some staggers on the side. Great cross-court pass.
Asbury to Hilu. Can't finish. Look out for the run of Marshall down the left here. Bruce. Liafa. That'll be a three if it goes down. It doesn't.
But flat on the shot there.
Burton now. His first look. There you go. We did say it. Hot hand, Zoe Burton. Game number 200 tonight. And if he gets going, look out. Saints will have a battle. Talking about a battle, Hiram Harris.
Just allowing great hands by Hiram.
Alec inside, surrounded by blue. That's his strength. Love what we've seen from Josiah Alec so far in the opening couple of games for the Sharks.
I like the tempo that the Sharks are playing at. They're pushing the ball.
That is going to be a big battle tonight. Harris and Alec. Here's Marshall for three. Answers for the Saints. You like the look of him, don't you, Nick Marshall?
I do. I think he'll get better as the season progresses.
MVP in the NBL 1 South last season, playing for Mount Gambier. Has spent 4 years with the Adelaide 36ers. Nick Marshall. Turnover there for the Sharks. Early stages.
Sloppy pass there. You want your big man to catch it.
GJ Gardnerholm's replay. Here it is.
Just throwing it at his feet.
Hard to take it down there. Alec is definitely one to watch. Super athletic. Bruce off Harris. Marshall, great setup for the Saints. Back to back. No, can't convert. And Sharks do want to play with pace, don't they? Look at them go. And again, sloppy turnover. Back-to-back turnovers for the Sharks. Just not controlling the possession, are they?
Absolutely. That's the word you use, control. When you're pushing the ball at pace, you've got to be able to control the ball.
Let's see if
Bruce up full court.
Let's see if the Saints make them pay. Keelan Boone has got the job on Marshall. Alec with Harris. Hilu chasing Bruce. Dougal Meter into the action. Early sub for the Saints. Mazinski sitting with that foul, and that's an over and back against the Saints.
There's nice action from the Saints at the top there, screen to screen. Get the help. Player helping on the big, and then kicking for Dougal Meter for an open shot. Fortunately, he didn't make it.
Tauranga Fire took down the Auckland Tuatara last night in a thriller, 78-76. Fire have started the season 3 wins from their 4 games. Alec inside, great setup here, Lou. Good play for the Sharks.
Absolutely. Nice middle on ball, and Alec with that athleticism.
Back the other way. Harris stuck underneath. Liafa.
Oh, great pass.
Fantastic pass back into Harris. How quick was that from Isaiah Liafa? Back to within 2. There's Asbury. Alec, a long way from home. Boone over Harris. That's a tough shot from there. Battle on the boards. Oh, Alec's going to foul there.
That's a foul.
Don't mind the athleticism, but that was...
Love the effort. However,
just a little bit too
not smart.
Opportunistic. Have a look at this on the GJ Gardner's replay. Yeah, that's not going to end well. Maybe the easiest call the Bartercard officials will get all night. Saints, of course, last time out here on their home floor, went down in that double overtime thriller to the Airs. What a game that was. They then bounced back with a win against the Nelson Giants. Sharks with an opening game win against the Nuggets. And then, of course, that horrible loss to the Rams. Let's see how they respond tonight. Harris in the paint for a long time. He's going to get bailed out late here.
I'm liking how the Saints are just allowing Hiram to bring that ball up and potentially go one-on-one with his guy. So
Jonathan Yim just in front of us asking the same question. How long is Hiram Harris allowed in the paint for? Jonathan Yim there just checking that it is 3 seconds. It is the same rule across the world, Coach, just to let you know.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little bit of tongue-in-cheek asking that question. Harris converts from the Chemist Warehouse. Don't forget this season, Natu, every time a made free throw from the Chemist Warehouse stripe triggers a donation from Chemist Warehouse into the pot to raise money for schools in hoops. Hoops in parks and hoops in schools. Schools in hoops, that'd be interesting. Hoops in parks and hoops in schools. Fantastic initiative from
awesome
Chemist Warehouse. A miss there for Harris. Well, you're out working in the community every day, Natu. The importance of hoops in parks and hoops in schools.
Yeah, places and spaces, yep, 100%.
Foul there, Mazinski. That's his second. Tukaha Cooper with the drive. Now, this is going to be interesting. What's Aaron Young going to do here? Mazinski's waving him off and saying, no, leave me out here, coach. I'm okay. Coming down over the top there. He didn't like the call. But as much as Nick Mazinski was pleading to stay on the court, Natu, he's going to go and have a seat. What do you do there as a coach? You've been in that position. One of your star players is saying, no, leave me out here. I'm aware of the situation. What do you do?
I do exactly what Aaron Young's done. I pull him. You know, you want him to have fouls going into the second half. You let him play. He could pick up his third, and that's going to be problematic in the second half.
Cooper converts. And no doubt if he is left out there, the opposition straight away will target him with everything. So Mazinski sits with 2 fouls. Harris, maybe Alec just got away with a little bit of a bump. Did he? No, he didn't. He's been picked up. So Josiah Alec also has 2 fouls, and now that roulette wheel is swung back the way of Jonathan Yim because he's going to have to make a decision here. There's the bump. And he too is making the change. So Alec to sit with 2 early fouls as Ledger comes in. And
this is a challenge for teams. Like Hiram Harris has a problem when he's dribbling the ball down the floor, and teams have bigger guys who are guarding him.
Marshall off the glass.
It's a great move. Isolation, great move.
Sharks by 1 midway through the first. There's Burton. I feel like the Sharks need to get Asbury into the game more here. Yep. Haven't seen a lot of him early. Stuck in the corner at the moment. Cooper for 3. Oh, wow. In fact, deep 2. How about that? From the young Northlander. Liafa to answer with a three.
That's a great shot. It's great to see Isaiah Liafa hit his first three. He's, you know, struggled a little bit in the Australian League and more recently in the first two games.
I saw the news in the last 24 hours that the option in Sydney hasn't been picked up. Give and go inside, clumsy. Saints are going to come up with it. Yep. So turnovers costly for the Sharks. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. There's Liafa on the step back. He's nailed a lot of those across his career. That's turnover number 3 for the Sharks. And the statisticians might be being a little bit kind there.
Ghost screen by Liafa. And Bruce was hoping to get to the rim, but that didn't work.
Dougal Meter gets it back. He goes over the top of Asbury. Battle on the boards. Burton brings it down. Tied up, 13 apiece. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching right around the world. Ledger.
Yeah, that was great.
Unable to finish. Hot pass from Zoe Burton. Liafa now. Well short on that shot. Dougal Meter did well to try and keep it in. Hello to all of our viewers in the United States through ESPN. Hope you're well. Replay on that Liafa shot. And of course, everybody watching around the world on FIBA YouTube. And here in New Zealand on Sky Sport, the home of Kiwi basketball.
Single pin down.
Here's Asbury. This is the man they've got to get going. He's had a slow start to the season. Hillu, Boone, head down, left it short. Saints come up with it. Bruce, little runner off the glass. In fact, Marshall it is, sorry.
That's why I like Marshall's really athletic, and you know he can get to the rim, especially when he's got shorter guards, forwards who are guarding him. So I like how positive he was in that play.
Saints take the lead. That might be their first lead of the game. It is. Boone turns it over. Just copped a rub down the arm from Dougal Meter. There's the Sharks coaching bench. Jonathan Yim up at the sideline. Early stages. Nick Mazinski sitting with 2 fouls. Josiah Alec sitting with 2 fouls. Hiram Harris has 6 points. Tukaha Cooper has 4 for the Sharks.
Splits and staggers for Ashbury. What's he got?
He shakes off Evans Jr. Boone. Bang! Slams it down on the drive, straight down the alley. Keelan Boone with the highlight so far of the opening quarter. Love a bit of this. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Little shimmy and shake. Up he goes. Caslow Evans Jr. smartly gets out the way.
And Boone.
Love that. Here's Liafa. Calls up Richards. Dumps it in. Foul on Ledger.
It's a nice little pocket pass from Zaya Liafa to Richards. Young man gets to the chemist warehouse.
One of your former Chargers, of course, this young man, Luca Richards. What was he like to coach?
He's a great kid. I call him kid because he's only 20. But he's...
everyone's a kid to you and you and myself now too.
But to come back from ACL rupture, meniscus rupture as well, you know, from 2 years ago is great to see him on the floor.
Puts the first one away from the Chemist Warehouse. A little bit more money raised for Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools with thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Second one is good also. And the Saints lead by that margin as Hayden Collier comes into the game for Keelan Boone. Not sure that I'd want Keelan Boone taking a seat after slamming down a big dunk at one end, but maybe a pre-planned quick breather. And good to see Hayden Collier out there. He copped one in the ribs in the Sky Broadband Rapid League game. There he is, Caleb Asbury.
Can't play in drops with Asbury. He's going to come off there, and the Saints were in a drop. Luca Richards, he's got all time and day to shoot that.
Well, the Sharks We'll be really hopeful that Asbury finds some form in this one. 8 points and 6.5 assists a game so far. Getting up, Marshall, nice and strong. That athleticism just flying over the top of Collier. You talked about him being a handful. Here's the replay. On that move inside, left to right. Just so hard to stop.
Yeah, Ledger with the over-exaggerated closeout, which allowed him to get to the rim. So the Sharks got to do a really good job of playing solid on the perimeter for their perimeter defense.
First one down for Marshall. Getting back to Caleb Asbury. Talk about a slow start and the need for him to get rolling. That last three was a good sign. Let's not forget, he finished last season. In his last 4 games, he averaged 25 plus a game. Had a 37 or 39 against the Jets, actually. You'll remember that night well.
That was a handful. He was a handful.
If Asbury can get firing, Sharks are a big chance tonight.
Nice flares for the back
Asbury to Hilu.
And that was a great play.
Good setup for the Sharks. Well, Johnny Hilu has that in his game, doesn't he? Speaking of great action, Liapa to Harris. And some lead changes here late in the first. Saints by 1.
One set, a single pin down.
Hilu
and then a flare for Asbury.
And he found him. Double. Ledger, rare shot from outside for him.
Board by Collier.
And soft roll. Gets it in. Big basket there for the Sharks. How do the Saints respond? Liafa on the run.
Great.
Marshall for 3. Isaiah Liafa getting busy. Saints by 2.
It's a great read with the Sharks tagging and then leaving Marshall wide open.
Asbury
deep
over
three.
The top and another. So a couple of threes for Caleb Asbury. Sharks respond.
Great
and
back.
So do the Saints. Nick Marshall.
Great back cut from Marshall. Great assist from Sean Bruce.
Well, we've had about 5 lead changes in the last couple of minutes. Exciting stuff here in Wellington tonight. Shot clock about 5 seconds inside the game clock.
Flats.
Cooper with Liafa.
Great D.
Fantastic defense. Saints up with it. 4 seconds. Got to go quick. Marshall pulls up. The 3 on the buzzer. Banks it in. Crowd on their feet. Welcome to Wellington. Saints take the lead. They're out by 4. The Sharks aren't happy with the call. Look good for me. We'll have another look at it on the other side of the break. Saints lead by 4.
About just yourselves. You ready? In 3, 2, 1. Who makes the first? Javon's got it. Madison, he's got it now. That's one apiece. Javon, same spot. He's got it. 2. Madison on the rebound. This time, there you go. Javon going same spot. That a boy.
Namai Hokimai, welcome back to TSB Bank Arena in the capital tonight. Saints lead by 3. We've had a scoreboard adjustment. They lead by 3 at quarter time. Now, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Now, we haven't got a light around the backboard. There's the Marshall shot. Watch the clock. Yeah, left his hand in time. That's
Absolutely.
good. That's a really good shot of it, in fact. Got it up with about 0.1, 0.2 to play. So all good. I know the Sharks weren't happy, but we get the benefit of the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, and that was spot on. Nick Marshall banked it in right on the buzzer. And what an opening quarter it was from Marshall Natu.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We talked about him before the game, and he's up to 17 points. So what a great start for Nick Marshall in the first quarter. And now we just had Hiram Harris get to the rim. Easy layup.
So danger signs here for the Sharks. Saints are out by 6. Liapa with the steal. Bruce Marshall. What a play.
Oh, what a play. Started from Liapa's defense. He blew that handoff up, managed to get the ball and then pitched. And the Saints are starting to pick their defensive intensity up.
All of a sudden, they're out by 8. Collier, block, Mazinski, that was clean. Good to see him back out there. He's got 2 fouls. Saints score here, double digits. Liafa, Marshall, dominating this contest tonight. Gets Asbury off the floor, and that's it. They're out by 10. Timeout, Sharks. 35-25. Sharks have called a timeout. The officials haven't seen it on the score table. He was straight up the sideline screaming it out too. He'll be hoping Asbury can score off this. He's not. He's short. So Jonathan Yim, not a happy camper right now. Marshall. Wow. Nick Marshall.
Here's our man.
He is on fire. Timeout called now. 1 possession too late as far as Jonathan Yim is concerned. And that margin has blown out to 13 in the blink of an eyelid. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Marshall's, well, he's having a night out.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, he had so much top space to shoot the 3 on that position. And you would have thought, okay, now, you know, he's knocked down a couple of shots now. We need to extend out there. We need him to get the ball out of his hands. And however, you know, that's pretty tough. You know, a minute and a half into the second half, they're down 13 now.
Well, that's a 9-0 run in a minute and a half. Down 13, as you said. Yeah. Nick Marshall has 21 points in 11 minutes and 20 seconds of this game, and he's been doing it inside, outside, been doing it all. I'll tell you what we're about to find out now. We are about to find out right now, this early in the season, what this Sharks team is made of. There's that big finish off the glass for Marshall as well. We're going to find out, Natu, whether this Sharks team has any metal about them, whether they've got the ability to say, no, that's enough. We've just had a chat about it. We're going to step back out and we're going to toughen up. We're about to find out. Margin at 13. Hard pass for Asbury. Did well in the end. The Sharks respond.
Saints went to a 2-3 zone on that one.
Exactly what Coach Yim would have been looking for out of that timeout. Now he wants to see his team stand up defensively. Saints moving it so well. Hands in the lane. Asbury, they come up with a stop. Can they score out of this? Boone. Wide open over Mazinski. Away to the left.
Maybe it's too wide open.
Had a long opportunity to look at it, didn't he? 40 plays 25. That is what's showing. In fact, it's 40-27. So apologies for the changing score. They're just fixing that up as we speak. They'll fix it up to the tune of another 3 for the Saints. Bruce. Such a dangerous player. 25 points a game. Asbury. Alec, that's tough.
Great read by Harris. Great read by Harris on that play.
Dougal Meter. Afterburners. Saints are flying. Look at this. Good read, as you said, from Harris. Dougal Meter picked it up and he was off to the races. Margin at 16. It was 4 at quarter time, just 2.5 minutes ago. Scary stuff. Next up for the Saints, they head down to Christchurch on Sunday afternoon to take on the Rams. Johnny Halou, wasted shot.
That probably wasn't the best shot to take at that time.
Saints come again. Liafa, Harris, Mazinski on the reverse. Another two. Well, this one's blowing right out in the blink of an eye. Boom, deep two. And again, quick fire shot, setting nothing up. Natu.
Exactly. The quick fire shots are hurting the Sharks. They take the first shot, one pass shot.
Well, the Sharks need to burn another timeout. This has become a massacre in the space of just over 3 minutes. Look at this. They're all getting amongst it. Dougal Meter, those championship banners in the background. 48-27. It's a 19-2 run.
The first thing they need to do is get their defense in order. That needs to be solid. That needs to be constant. And they're struggling with that. Saints are playing a lot of two-man game with Hiram Harris and Bruce out the front. And Sharks aren't, there is not a plan for how they're going to defend that.
Well, they're not helping themselves either, Natu, because when they do come down in offense, invariably they're taking the first shot that they see. It's within the first few seconds, and if that misses, Saints are just grabbing it and going. What do you do as a coach in this situation? I don't want to bring it up, but you had a few losses last season. What do you do in this situation?
I'm fairly familiar with that. You can't. The only thing you can do is blow timeouts and stick to structure. You've got to stick to your structures. And there is an innate feeling in players to try and get things back straight away and take shots, but they've got to think about the bigger picture. They've got to get back into the game, and the back in the game is execution on offense and being constant on the defensive end.
Well, let's see if that was the message in that timeout. Let's see how the Sharks respond. Boone to Hilu, gave up the open shot. Now Boone's got a decision to make with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. I've seen him hit those so far this season, not on that occasion. And now it's about defense. Look at Liafa and Harris teaming up. Good hands, Keelan Boone. How many times have we already seen that from Liafa and Harris tonight?
The Saints look a lot more fluid with their offenses this game.
Mazinski. Alec has 2 fouls. Mazinski has 2. Alec with the rebound. Down by 21. Asbury sitting. Hilu. Burton, game number 200 tonight. He's looking okay at quarter time. Not so much now. Another block, Mazinski. That's his second. #1 shot blocker in the competition. Liafa just telling Harris to get out of the way. And Hiram is fouled. And that'll be Alec's third. Wow. Things going from bad to worse for the Sharks. There's the Mazinski block. Mazinski and Bruce take a break. 19-2 second quarter for the Saints.
Just needed a bit of discipline there, Alec. Knew that it was his second foul, so now he's got 3 fouls. Harris to the Chemist Warehouse.
And he's got an extended stay at the Chemist Warehouse as well. 3 shots. Saints are 7 of 12 from the arc. Sharks are 3 of 10. Sharks field goal percentage 41. Saints, just to emphasise that open transition, and their allowance, or the Sharks' allowance for the Saints to run, the Sharks are shooting at 75%. Three of three from the line for Hiram Harris. And he jumps up into double-digit scoring. He's got 12. Nick Marshall, if you've just joined us, has 21. Boone, Alec, that's a better setup there from the Sharks. And as you spoke about, Natu, get to structure.
You stick to your structures and then be constant on the defensive end. So here's where they really need to knuckle down. And
good to see the fans there, tucking into the cells on a Wednesday night, enjoying themselves.
The thing about it is plenty of time.
What, to have cells?
Plenty of time for the Sharks to get back into this.
Got to chip away, don't they? Liafa.
That's what they got to do.
Marshall. Cooper with the job. Marshall just continues to go. Never gave up on it, Nick Marshall. 23 in the game. Saints already at 53 with half of the second quarter to play. That foul on Marshall. Copped Asbury high.
Yeah, well, they could be on 120 pace in this game.
Well, I think they're above it. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. There's the foul. Nick Marshall guessed right defensively. Wasn't set though.
It's a small lineup from both teams.
Cooper. That's a foul underneath. Is that going to be on Marty Dougal-Meter? Yeah, it is. Blocking horns underneath with Keelan Boone. If things continue this way tonight, looking grim at the moment for the Sharks, it's going to be fascinating to see their response against the informed Jets on Saturday night. Of course, Sam Timmins still to come into this team. Cooper for three. Oh, that helps. Definitely helps. Good work from the young man, Tukaha Cooper.
He showed a bit of patience on offense there.
Saw some good signs from him earlier tonight, didn't we, in the Sky Broadband Rapid League as well.
He's definitely not afraid to take shots.
Saints got that win earlier tonight, by the way, 34-26. They moved to a 2-1 record in the Rapid League. Sharks 0-3, searching for their first win. Margin at 21 again. Harrison Liafa. They look a deadly combination. Great signs if you're a Saints fan.
Wazinski with the mismatch. Oh, great pass.
Quick hands. Bruce to Marshall. A rare miss from him. Sharks breathe a sigh of relief. Asbury. He's done a couple of nice things.
Another miss by the Sharks.
Harris now sends it out to Sean Bruce for three. 8 of 13 from downtown for the Saints tonight. 60% or thereabouts. Dominating this second period. Margin was only 4 at quarter time.
On ball. Good hands from Marshall. Great hands.
And the Sharks lucky to keep it. Saints started this second quarter with a 9-0 run in the opening 90 seconds and really haven't looked back from there.
They put the foot on the pedal, haven't they?
Pleasingly for them, that three-point shooting, as I said, 7 of 13. They are going at 53%, I should say, from behind the arc. And that's a good sign if you're a Saints fan, because coming into this game, they were under 25%. So it's definitely one area of their game that's improved this evening. Asbury on Liafa. Tough pull-up. And there's a foul there against the Sharks.
Might have been Burton.
It's actually going to be Keelan Boone with the foul.
Was it?
So that's his third as well. Alec has 3. Boone has 3. And the Sharks coaching staff working overtime at the moment. The margin is one thing. Players staying out of foul trouble, or more to the point, getting into it, is another. Marshall misses. Asbury with pace. Needs some help. Hilu for three.
Yes, he needed that.
He'd missed a couple, hadn't he? Liafa was quiet in the opening game against the Airs this season. Had a big one against the Giants, and he's been really good tonight. Dougal Meter catch and shoots. That's what he does.
Everyone's on fire in this game now for the Saints. Great pass from Mazinski out of the post from the opposite side of the floor.
And back-to-back, Johnny Hilu. So 3 points raining down both ends of the floor right now. 59-38, 2 to play in this opening half. Mazinski with the mismatch down low. Cooper with the foul. I guess the halftime break for the Sharks can't come quick enough, Natu.
Yeah.
What do you think Jonathan Yim talks about at halftime?
I'll be talking about the foul count, and also lifting their bit more active on the defensive end. Being aware of who's shooting well and who's scoring well. I mean, we know that Marshall's been scoring really well, yet he's still being left open.
Well, he's got 23. I think the one thing they do need to chat about is how they stop this Liafa and Harris show.
Yeah.
Because they're getting their hands on it just about every time down the floor. A miss there for Ledger. Here is Liafa again. To Harris. That's exactly what I was just talking about. They're looking for each other every time. Harris unable to finish. Burton for three. Short on the iron. Just over a minute to play. BNZ player timeout available to both teams. Liafa coming off Mazinski. Gee, does that so well.
Rotation on the ball looked good.
Sharks settle it down. Crowd enjoying the show from their home team tonight. Ledger to Asbury.
It's good D. Bruce got through that really well.
Hilu. Looking for his third triple of the quarter.
Mazinski with the ball. They can get a 2-for-1 here.
Here they go. Bruce on Burton. Up. Put back. Sean Bruce. Who said 34-year-olds haven't got hops?
Saints could get a player timeout here if they regain position.
8 points in the game for Sean Bruce tonight.
5 seconds difference between the shot clock.
Burton on the turn.
If they get the rebound.
And there it is. BNZ player timeout called by the Saints. 6.3 to play. 61 to 38. Ticket to the big game. There's the QR code. Scan it. Fill in your details for your chance to win tickets to the NZNBL this season. Up and down the country. Get along and see the Stars fly with thanks to BNZ. Ticket to the big game. Wonderful initiative. Your chance to win some tickets. Who do the Saints go to here, Natu? They got a few. Liafa to bring it in.
I'll go to Marshall. Harris will come and get it, and Marshall will be the recipient.
Marshall in the far corner. Liafa to bring it in. Bruce. Liafa. Catch and shoots. Unable to put it down. So that'll do us to the half. A lot of work to do for the Sharks. Saints out by 23. A huge second quarter for the home team. 32 to 13. Nick Marshall, the star of the show, with 23. And the Sharks get themselves back into this one. Wednesday night belonging to the Saints in the NZNBL. Chemist Warehouse stats coming up right after the break. Don't go away.
How's your fitted sheet folding? Not sure about the layout, but you got the sheet. Excellent. And Dylan and Billy. Dylan, Billy, Billy. Okay, I'll get it right by the end of it, I'm sure. How are we doing? Confident? Who's your favorite player? Yeah, all right, fair call, fair call. Everyone's favorite. How's your fitted sheet folding? Is mine better? Who's got the layout? Nice one. All right, what they're going to do, one participant is going to go up, make a layout, come back. The other participant is going to go up and make a layout. That first one is going to meet them at the halfway and fold the fitted sheet. This year, we want a perfect. And it's NM's call, not mine, so blame them if they say no, okay? Sweet. All right, Wellington, count it down with me at 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Mark into the first one. Billy and Dylan, off to a start. Oliver was worried about the layout. Here comes Dylan. Here we go, second chance. Attaboy. Feet in the middle. Fold that sheet. We want perfect. What's the finish sheet? Oh, already started, I see. Gotta be perfect. Doesn't look fitted to me. That looks easy. That looks way too easy. Keep it going, mate. Keep it going. You could catch up on the sheet. Gotta be perfect. Keep cheering them on, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't easy coming out here. Yeah, there you go, kid. Big dad. Fold that sheet. Oh, he's already started for you. Oh, get out those creases. Get out those creases. Catching up, boys. Catching up. One more ball, maybe. You are making great time. Great time. Who we got? Who we got?
Halftime here in the capital, and it's a big lead to the Saints. Huge second quarter from the home team, 32-13, and they lead 61-38. Justin Nelson, Natu Tafale with you tonight. Some midweek hoops in the NZNBL. Mad March, week 3 of Mad March. The games keep coming your way right now, though. Let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats after one here. And Nick Marshall, there's been some score corrections here. He's actually got 26, Natu.
What a great half of shooting.
The whole team is going at 75% in that opening half. 9 of 17 from three-point land. Hiram Harris has been really good as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
6 assists to Liafa, 5 to Bruce. In fact, they already have 15 assists as a team, the Saints, as they rattle on 22 of 34 shooting. Mazinski with a couple of blocks. He is the best shot blocker in the competition. And there's the steals. As we said, 15 assists to the Saints. They lead the rebounds 20-14. Shooting at 76%. The Sharks shooting at 40%. 5 turnovers to the Sharks. Quite unbelievably, and this probably just tells you how dominant that second quarter was for the Saints, Natu. The Saints lead. In fact, the scores just changed here in the stadium to 64-38. The Saints lead by 26 and there's been 10 lead changes.
Yeah, there has. They were all in the first quarter.
Well, it was close, wasn't it? It was 4 points, the difference at quarter time. But the Saints just came out, and really in the opening 90 seconds, the game had completely changed.
Yeah, 100%. What is going through Coach Yim's mind at the moment? I would be thinking, look, they've got to get back to executing on offense and not trying to take the quick shot and trying to get it all back at once. So execution and being patient, a little bit patient on offense. And on the defensive end, they've got to do a better job of their coverages, negating the action that the Saints are running with Hiram Harris, who seems to be the go-to guy and the glue. So they need to somehow negate how he's become really effective. I look at Boone, and Boone's he must be carrying a shoulder injury. He's got some tape on that shoulder. He has been struggling a little bit with his shot, so but those are some of the things that I would like to see in the second half. In the third quarter anyway, that might give them a shot at getting back in the game in the fourth.
Just the 4 points for Keelan Boone tonight. Josiah Alec battling foul trouble. He has 6 points. Caleb Asbury with 8 points. So Burton in his 200th game has 3. I've got to say, I saw the Sharks play their opening game against the Nuggets, and my one word that I took out of that win for the Sharks, they looked connected. In that second quarter, they looked disconnected. It's going to be fascinating to see how they respond in the second half tonight. Saints leading this one comfortably, and for about the 7th time the score has changed. It's 61-38. Third quarter coming up after the break. No Mai Hockey Mai, third quarter not too far away from starting here tonight. Wednesday night hoops. Mad March in the NZNBL. 26 games in 20 days. Saints lead this one comfortably at the half. Nuggets and the Jets coming your way tomorrow night. 2 games on Friday night. Panthers against the Fi. Giants up against the Bulls. Both the Panthers and Giants searching for their first win of the season. Who gets the win tonight? Well, the Sharks have been hovering on that 20% or so. But I've got to say, they've got a fair bit of work to get back into this one. The Saints blasting the Sharks out of the water in that second quarter. Justin Nelson, Natu Tafale with you. Natu, I just want to pull up one stat here with thanks to Chemist Warehouse from the opening half. Now, Sharks starting big men, Kalen Boone and Josiah Alec, both with 3 fouls. So a little bit of foul trouble, and they had to battle that through the opening half. The backup bigs for the Sharks, Will Ledger, is minus 18 in under 9 minutes. And Hayden Collier is minus 13 in under 6 minutes. So that backup position through the 4-5, problematic.
It is. And that second unit, not a lot of experience there. Not a lot of experience there with the second unit bigs. So that's become real, problematic for Coach Yim. We're hoping that, the second... what I'd like to see in the Sharks offense is Zoe Burton getting some shots. He can shoot, I've not seen them...
He's had 3 for the night.
Yeah. I've not seen them run anything for him. Oh, here we go.
Burton's had 3 shots.
As I say that, he's getting some staggered screens.
Burton's had 3 shots, Asbury's had 5. Boone's going to end up taking the opening shot here. And that one short. Saints opening possession of the second half. Hiram Harris went it alone, and look who's underneath. Nick Marshall, 28 in the game. Can't believe Hiram Harris is given that much space. Quite remarkable. Here's Asbury. Turnover, Liafa in the lane. So far, signs not good for the Sharks. Liafa to Bruce. And that's come off a Shark leg. Saints to get it underneath.
I like the pace at which the Saints are playing. It's putting a lot of pressure on the Sharks to get back in transition defense.
Off the foot of Boone. Harris. The work rate of Nick Marshall off the ball is quite remarkable. Sean Bruce, 3. Saints picking up where they left off.
That's a bit disappointing. I would have liked to seen Helu really close out and get a hand on their shot.
Well, this is some sort of a lesson right now for this Sharks team. Asbury to Helu. Alec battling underneath. Foul there on Isaiah Liafa. He wasn't happy with it, but gee, from our angle here, it looked like a clear slap. Very athletic, isn't he, Josiah Alec?
Here we go.
Asbury. Burton. Just working as hard as he can at the moment to get free of Bruce. Here they are as we speak. Shot clock at 2, at 1. Had to put it up. Was there contact? No. Saints up with it. Harris. Liafa. Look at them work together.
Saints offense is looking really fluid. But like you said, Justin, it's just fluid. They're just moving the ball and they're playing at speed. This is one of the things that Coach Young wanted the Saints to play this year, at speed.
Shooting at near 80%, the Sharks. Just all too easy. Asbury up and in. A little bit of a highlight there for the Sharks.
Now they've really got to knuckle down on D. They're in a 2-3 zone.
Liafa. And that's out off the hand of Mazinski. I've got to say, every time the Saints come down the floor, there's the Asbury finish, up and under on Mazinski was nice. Every time the Saints come down the floor, the play of Liafa and Harris up high, just watch it.
It's beautiful.
It is clockwork stuff, and they are doing it just about every single time the Saints are in possession. They are in sync. Margin at 28. Sharks need to chip away. This would help. Deep on the shot. Cooper gets after it. Alec battling for it. Asprey comes up with it. He gets on the move to the basket. Opportunities go begging.
The Saints come down. Good speed, good.
Harris is found by Keelan Boone, and that's his 4th.
Coach Yim may look to continue to go to a zone because he's got no other options and keep mixing it up. I would look to go in a zone that protects Alec from getting his 4th, and Boone's got his 4th.
Yep, Boone's got 4. He's taken a seat.
Yep.
Gee, they'd love Sam Timmins right about now, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Understatement of the night. Harris, Liafa, team up again. Marshall, in and out. 28 for him tonight. Staring at a 30-piece. Cooper in the corner.
It's got Alec inside.
Goes to him now. Alec off the glass.
Job.
Much better from the Sharks. Good recognition from Cooper in the corner as well. Dougal Meter into the action. Turnover. Asbury, Gillu, Burton, here we go, wide open Zoe Burton, down it goes. Your call, Nasu Tofale, absolutely spot on. This Sharks team need to find their captain more.
And that was good. In transition, got a stop, pushed it down the floor, got a nice early look for Zoe Burton. He knocks down the 3.
6 points for Zoe Burton, 2 of 6 shooting tonight. Timeout called by the Saints. And it's a 7-7 square up so far in this 3rd quarter. Much better from the Sharks. Coach Aaron Young having a chat to the Saints. Gee, they've got a big game coming up on the weekend, haven't they? Down to Christchurch to take on the reigning dual champions, the Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams. And given the form that the Rams are in at the moment, with 3 imports still to come, I believe one of them may be here this weekend, but not all 3. But they're in a bit of form at the moment. Their last 2 games against the Giants and this team, the Sharks, sensational.
I think the Saints have, they look more fluid tonight, and that's what they need. Going into the game against the Rams. So obviously they've had some good weeks with Aaron, where he's become more familiar with them, and the players have become more familiar with Aaron Young in the system.
Alec getting up nice and high for the rebound. Let's see what the Sharks can build out of this 4A forward.
Bit of Spain action there.
Oh, there's an offensive foul. This is going to be against Josiah Alec, I think.
No, it was Zoe Burton.
Is it Zoe Burton that's picked it up? It is, you're right.
Send that back screen so he can free himself up for a good 3-point shot.
Actually, you know what? We're both wrong. It's gone against Caleb Asbury. So we'd need to see that again. Caleb Asbury called for the offensive foul, the illegal screen. And it is a point of emphasis for the referees as well. All the teams have been told about it. 30-piece for Nick Marshall tonight.
It's getting a bit angsty out there, Asbury pushing Sean Bruce, so he's getting more frustrated.
They were having a chat to each other in the first half as well. Here's Alec inside on the turnaround. That's better. Just getting back to the illegal screens. Coaches have clearly been told from the referees department that the Barnacat officials are under instruction to keep a very close eye on it. It is a point of emphasis, so coaches know, players will know. Liafa rushed in the end. Look at Marshall underneath. Got a slap across the arm there, late whistle. He's off to the Chemist Warehouse. How good has this young man been tonight?
He's been everywhere, both ends of the floor. Like, you know, he's really active on the offensive boards as well. Shots are going up. He's crashing the boards, jamming and getting in there and Saints are getting second shots.
Well, I know that the Sharks will pick through the tape of what's happened tonight. Points were good. It should be one shot here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that Caleb Asprey won't want to see, and that's the foul that he just committed. First of all, giving up an offensive rebound to Nick Marshall. And then look at this foul that he's committed. This is just lazy. I'm sorry, but that's just not a good foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess there's a certain amount of frustration with them at the moment. You know, they're down, and he's got to believe that the refs aren't calling their way. So
let's just check that again. We might actually be able to help the officials out here. They're trying to work out whether that basket went in. We can tell them. Here we go. Here's the foul. That misses. The shot definitely did not go in. And the Barter Card officials have fixed that up. It is 2 shots. I think the Saints were claiming just the one bonus, but as we just saw on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, the shot definitely missed. So Marshall will go to the line for 2. Good pick up for the Saints, isn't he, Natu?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's taken him a few weeks to get comfortable with the league and how players play here. And
first one goes down. So just picking up also that foul has actually gone against Josiah Alec. It was a clear Asprey foul, the slap on the arm. So that's a mistake there. I'm not sure how that's been awarded against Josiah Alec, but what it means, Natu, is Alec has 4 fouls as well now. So that's a massive blow for the Sharks as Hilu misses. We got to see the replay a few times and you could see the clear arm contact, but that's a big blow.
Yeah, that is a big blow. It's massive.
And that's actually what the Sharks were having the long conversations about. They were saying that the foul had been awarded to the wrong person, and they're right. Alec for 3. 72-47, 4.5 to play in this third quarter. All eyes on Nick Marshall at the moment. Highest score so far this season. Jackson Ball with a 40-piece. Mazinski adds 2. Nick Marshall 32 at the moment.
Very high-low action there from the alpha to Mazinski.
Asprey on the drive. Burton in the corner for 3. Another one for Zoe Burton. They've just got to keep going to him. Third triple of the night for the 200 gamer.
That's one thing he can do.
Liafa to respond. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Just rejected the on-ball and then just pulled up and shot the 3.
Alec on Mazinski. And Coach Jim happy to keep Josiah Alec out there at the moment on 4 fouls.
On ball.
Liafa. Well, Mazinski was actually just held up momentarily there inside by Cooper. Went unseen. And a turnover for the Saints. There's the hold just there. Did enough, didn't he, Tukaha Cooper?
Got away with that one.
Well, smart play if you can get away with it, Natu.
Yep.
Alec now taking a seat with those 4 fouls. Been a tough night in the office for Josiah Alec. 10 points, 6 rebounds. Hilu
There.
under pressure. Goes back inside on Mazinski. Not going to beat him. Marshall comes up with it. Harris slipping through off the screen. Trying to find a way through. Ends up with Dougal Meter. Great work by the Saints. Just moving the ball so well tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, and that started with Hiram Harris. You know, just his vision out of the post, being able to see the floor.
They add another triple. 12 of 23 tonight. Hilu, hit and miss from outside. See what the Saints can do here. Dougal Meter, another triple. They are lining up tonight in Wellington. Third triple of the game for Dougal Meter. He's 3 of 5 from downtown. Timeout by the Sharks with 2:17 to play in this third quarter. That margin at 31. And they have their eye in, there's no doubt about that. Still shooting at a high clip in this game, the Wellington Saints.
Just on that last shot, Justin, you know, the Sharks are starting to show signs of giving up. Because in transition defense, two players were guarding Hiram Harris when he threw that pass. You've got to get back on D. You've got to get back and find players. And the Saints are always going to have a player corner hug to running to the corner and establishing themselves early there to see where they get a quick three. The Sharks have just got to continue to get back on defense.
Sal's NBL highlight show every Tuesday night. Make sure you join us for that. The best bits right across week 3 of Mad March coming your way next Tuesday. And I reckon Nick Marshall might feature a little bit. So the question now, with the margin at 31, the question now is at what point do the Saints start thinking about Sunday? They've got a massive game Sunday afternoon against the Rams. Coverage also live and free on Sky Open. At what stage, Natu, do they chalk up the win here, put the cue in the rack and start thinking about the health of their stars for that matchup against the Rams?
Fourth quarter to me.
Bruce adds another 3.
Wait till the third quarter ends and then
sit him down at 3/4 time. That's enough.
Yep. And they're up 33 at the moment, 34 at the moment.
And we know every point counts. We get that. Points percentage is important. But so too is that big game on Sunday.
Yep.
Foul called there on Collier. Boone about to come back in on 4 fouls. I feel like Coach Jonathan Yim is coaching tonight with both arms tied behind his back. It's tough. It's a tough
It's been
gig.
a tough introduction to the New Zealand League.
Well, they started the season with a really good win against the Nuggets. Saints are sitting quite a few players now. Of course, they came unstuck against the Rams, and signs were good early tonight. 4 points in it at quarter time. Saints led 29-25, but since then, it has been a procession. 59 points to 27 since quarter time.
So 4 of the starters have been subbed out, and Hiram is the only player from the starting 5 still on the court.
Yeah, Coach Aaron Young has made those moves. It'll be interesting to see whether he brings those starters back into the game in the fourth quarter. As you mentioned, Hiram Harris is still out there. Joining him, Arthur Pilcher. Oh, Dougal Meter's still out there. He playing that 6-man role as he has the last couple of seasons for the Saints. Does it so well. Caslow Evans Jr. on the floor. Luca Richards as well. Asbury. Tough night for him. Alec on Richards. Turnaround.
Wow.
Oh, handy basket
Nice hook
that.
shot.
Sharks fans want to see a bit more of that. Josiah Alec up to 14 points now. Both he and Boone with 4 fouls apiece. Evans Jr. How good has that bottom corner there been for the Saints tonight?
I mean, you at least contest, right? And it just...
Burton to Alec, another 2. Good setup for the Sharks.
Game there.
Well, that's what I was alluding to before with that Asbury foul on Marshall. I think when the Sharks pull apart the tape from tonight, the thing that we're most disappointed with is just the defensive effort.
Yeah. Just effort.
Evans Jr. just too quick for Burtonshaw. And that's going to put Caslow Evans Jr. to the Chemist Warehouse. Saints 12 of 13 from the stripe tonight. Sharks 4 of 4. Sharks on average coming into this one, and I know it's an early sample size, but getting to the line only 8 times a game, and the sample size is pretty good. They've only got there 4 times tonight. It's a part of their game that's a real worry.
Something they're going to have to work on in terms of getting their scorers opportunities to get to the rim.
Or just the attack on the rim, yeah. 93-56. A couple of makes for Caslow Evans Jr. You called 120 tonight, by the way.
I did.
You bang on target, Natu. Asbury just opened up for him. Late here, 5, 4. Oh, big basket after Pilcher.
Look at the speed at which the Saints are playing, the tempo, which is what Aaron Young wanted them to play at. You know, they're playing quick, fast basketball.
Big night in the capital for the Mills Albert Wellington Saints. Pilcher with the finish on the 3/4 time buzzer. And it's a 37-point lead to the Saints over the Sharks.
One more quarter to go of round 3. If you're a Sharks fan, make some noise. Getting quieter. If you're a Saints fan, make some noise. One more time. Shark fans. Saints fans.
Great crowd in attendance tonight here in Wellington. The Sells Pizza has gone down well. The Large Fire Island is this week's special, $39.99. There's the QR code on screen. Well, the Saints have added 66 since quarter time to the Sharks 33. They have blown this one right open. They lead by 37. And you just hope for Sharks fans that they can find a little bit of confidence here in this last quarter, Natu, before they face the Jets on Saturday night, because it has been a really tough night at the office, hasn't it?
It has.
What do they do? 9.5 minutes. Obviously a good start there with Alec with another 2. But what are they hoping to get out of this last period?
Well, I hope they'll get some parity in terms of scoring with the Saints this period and actually execute for once. And more importantly,
Stop that. Bruce adds another 3.
Contest shots.
Chemist Warehouse stats, 16 of 27 from downtown tonight, the Saints. Remembering they came into the game shooting less than 25% from the arc. So that has completely turned around tonight. Sharks starting to look for Alec inside, which has been a vast improvement. He's up to 18. Mazinski. Pass was astray, came off the foot of Alec though, so the Saints will go again.
I mean, Alex scored the last time down the floor, but there was still some confusion with their offense. You know, at the top there were Burtonshaw and Asbury.
Must say, Coach Aaron Young's not done yet because he's started this last quarter with Mazinski, Bruce, Liafa and Marshall. Hiram Harris gets a break. So he's going to rub some salt into the wound for a little while longer. Liafa with the miss.
So Saints are in a... this thing, still man-to-man.
They are man-to-man. Asbury around the body of Collier. Looking back to Collier. Fortuitously fell in his lap off the bounce and he finishes
finish,
underneath.
Yeah.
Take everything you can get right now as a Shark. Marshall was looking inside for Mazinski. Liafa backs it out. Watch this. Isaiah Liafa underneath Mazinski. Just that turn of speed. Isaiah Liafa always knew what he was going to do there.
He just put the jets on, allowed the defense to react, and then made a great pass to Mazinski, who was just under that dunker spot.
He's only got 8 points in the game, Liafa. Oh, big foul there. Troy Plumtree running through Asbury. Asbury will go to the Chemist Warehouse for 3. He's only got 8 points, Liafa. Make that 6, in fact. But he's also got 8 assists and a couple of steals. His work with Hiram Harris tonight is something no doubt all coaches in the Sal's NBL will be taking a look at because it has set up so much of their offense.
Yeah, I like that, the combination with Liafa and Harris, and then Bruce and Harris. You know, if it's not Liafa, it's Bruce and Harris. So
Sean Bruce up to 17 points tonight, 6 of 8 shooting. Marshall with 32. There's the MVP QR code on screen with thanks to mixandpick.com. Fun and free. Scan away. Tell us who you think is the MVP tonight. And I think our viewers have pretty much nailed it. Hiram Harris good, Sean Bruce good, but right up the top, Nick Marshall simply outstanding. In fact, he now jumps up to 52% of the vote. Pretty hard to argue with the viewers, is it?
This is his come-out game.
Here he is, dishing it off to Mazinski, doubled. Cavalry arrives, Liafa.
Just easy, you know, create the advantage, get the defense in dominoes and just move the ball.
The one thing, Liafa nearly a steal again. The one thing Aaron Young will take away from this and be most pleased with is the way the Saints have shared the ball around. The ball movement, the way and the width that they've used the court, just like that, exactly like that. The way they have done that tonight, absolute standout, and I reckon Aaron Young will be thrilled with what he's seen.
Absolutely.
Collier for 3. Sharks to reset. Alec. Cooper. Unable to finish. And they've got to be careful here, the Sharks. They could be looking at a 50-point deficit real soon, the way things are going. at 39. Saints are lining up. The cut of Liafa was really good. The pass to Mazinski, not so good. Asbury for 3, much better. Forget about the 50. Keep it under 40. Maybe drag it down to under 30. Timeout called by the Saints. Margin at 36.
A lot to think about for Coach Jim in this timeout. They're down, what, 30, 36. They've got to get some pride, I guess, back in the jersey.
Marshall up to 62% in the voting now. We want to hear from you. I've got a feeling that may even go up a little bit further. 35 points tonight for Nick Marshall. 13 of 19 shooting, going at 68%. 5 triples at 62%. 6 rebounds, including 3 offensive rebounds. 4 of 4 from the Chemist Warehouse. There he is taking a break. Simply outstanding. NBL won South MVP last year in Australia, playing for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. The Adelaide 36ers, where he's been for the last 4 years, would be absolutely thrilled with what they're seeing tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you and I talked about who Nick Marshall before the game. I said he's the guy that I think, you know, that is going to, once he gets his feet underneath him and becomes comfortable with the league, he's going to be, you know, one of the stars of the league.
Yeah, nicely recruited by the Wellington Saints.
The thing I like about him is his activity. He never stops on both ends of the floor. He's moving. He's active on the defensive end. He's crashing the boards.
Nuggets and the Jets coming your way in the Sal's NBL tomorrow night. Join us from 6 for the Rapid League, from 7 for the Sal's NBL. Again through hands, the Saints unable to convert. I think that's come off Richards last, although the Saints are going to get it back here.
Yeah.
Maybe Collier got a hand on it. Nuggets looked a lot better last week. Donald Carey Jr., a player to watch. He had 37 against the Hawks. I believe it's Todd Withers' last game tomorrow night. Heavy contact there. Hayden Collier and Luca Richards. All is good. Richards gets up with a smile on his face. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Here's a good look at it. Just got him off the floor and certainly accidental.
Ooh, that's
you're saying no?
Yeah, I think that might have been unsportsmanlike.
We'll see if we can get another. Well, we'll see if we can get another look at it in between shots. What's your decision at home? Richards, first one is good. Here we go. Oh yeah, it is heavy. Anything on the head is heavy. I think I've just slid across into your camp, Natu.
Yeah, I just think exactly what you just said. Yep. Anything across the head.
Yep. The second one is out. 107-70. Midway through this fourth quarter. Good crowd in the Capital tonight for a midweek game as well. Really good. Boone. Sweet shot from the top. Needed to see a lot more of that tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, it was good execution there, and that's all they needed to do on offense.
Harris. Been really good tonight, the Saints, number 13, as you would expect. Here's Marshall. Gives up the shot. Evans Jr. on the drive. Harris in the corner. Dougal Meter for 3. Down it goes. Just like that.
Timeout.
Timeout called by the Sharks. Thrills and spills tonight in the Capital. And the Saints continue to add the points. Highest score of the season so far. The Manawatu Jets, 122 against the Panthers. That now is officially in danger. Jets, of course, are on the southern swing. Week 3 of Mad March. They take on the Nuggets tomorrow night, then they take on this team, the Sharks, on Saturday night. You've faced the Southern Swing as a coach a few times, Natu. Always tough to go to the Deep South, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And this is a great time of year to go to the Deep South. We get Southern Swing for the Jets to go to Southern Swing. It's, you know, we're still in autumn, so it's not that cold. Yeah, they're getting some momentum. The Jets have got some momentum after their last two wins, and you know, Corey Webster.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Playing really well.
Averaging 30 points a game, so, you know.
You say it's a good time to go down south, bar the odd earthquake here and there. We hope everyone is safe and well down there. What was it, a 6.9 a couple of days ago?
6.8, 6.9, yeah.
Comes with the territory with you Kiwis, I've got to admit.
We're just used to it. Just get used to it. Mate.
Oh, mate, I'm 6.5 years in and I haven't got used to it. 110 plays 73, just over 4 to play here tonight. Let's see what the Sharks can do out of this timeout.
Sloppy. That's sloppy.
Turn it over again. Plumtree off the glass. A little bit too much on it. Turnover again. Although, look out, Boone comes up with it. Where did he come from? A little push there by Evans Jr. Saints came in giving up 101 per game. As much as we've talked about the Saints offensively tonight, and why wouldn't you? They've been quite outstanding. Defensively, they've held the Sharks to 73.
Yeah, and Coach Young, Aaron, would be really happy with that. We're pleased with that. And he would be pleased with how fluid they've been on offense as well. But
Boone off the inbound. Can't land it. Will get it back. Has the mismatch on Evans Jr. Ends up with Alec for another 2. And he moves up to 22 tonight. So a bright spot there for the Sharks. When you consider he's been battling foul trouble all night. There he is, Josiah Alec. Super athletic. 18 points, 9 rebounds a game coming into this one tonight. 22 points and 8 rebounds.
It's been good to see how the Saints have basically got their second unit on at the moment.
Plumtree, the 17-year-old. Wow. Gee, the signs are good, aren't they? For the youngsters in the Cells NBL. So many of them. Love what Tama Isaac did last week. Carter Hopoi again last night for the fine that win over the Tuatara. Ambitious there from the Sharks. Here's Plumtree again. Of course, Jackson Ball. What a start to the season he's had. Dougal Meter, hand down. Well, it's just not good enough. You let a player like Dougal Meter have space like that, Natu, he's going to punish you. Boone responds.
I mean, you know he's a shooter, so turn the shooter into a driver. Get up and make him dribble. You give him all day to shoot, he's going to make that.
Well, 6 triples tonight. He's 6 of 9. Marnie Dougal Meter. That won't count. He's got 20 points off the bench tonight, Dougal Meter. And as we said, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. And that last one came with 0 pressure.
And so now he's finding some form, because in his first 2 games, he was struggling from the three-point line. And that's good. That's good for the Saints, you know.
2.5 to play. Look out for number 7. No. Gee, the crowd was right there with him as well. Zoe Burton has just come onto the floor, and I reckon Jonathan Yim has said, I have seen enough of Rangi Maria Dougal Meter. I do not want to see any more.
I'm enjoying watching Luca Richards and Troy Plumtree play together.
That's come off the leg. Doesn't matter, though. Saints are going to keep it.
Yeah, their effort has been, you know, for youngsters, their effort's been great. They're both on the boards. They're not giving up on plays.
There's one stat tonight on the Chemist Warehouse stat sheet that may not be broken again this season. I'll give it to you in just a moment. Evans Jr. Dougal meter. No. Certainly got the hot hand at the moment. And he is letting fly. BNZ player timeout called by the captain, Zoe Burton. And I reckon this, Zoe Burton is a pretty quiet, calm, collected character. He's in game number 200 tonight, and I reckon he's having some serious words with his teammates here. BNZ player timeout, ticket to the big game. There's the QR code, your chance to win tickets to the NZNBL this season. Just scan away, fill in your details, and you go into the running with thanks to BNZ. Don't see Zoe Burton get fired up too often, do we?
No. I would think there'd be an element of frustration for him tonight. 200th game, wanting to play really well, and
just hasn't gone to plan for the Sharks. Target was Josiah Alec. Saints up with it. Again, they just continue to run their sets here. Richards, inside, outside, back inside for Pilcher for another 2. Well, this is poetry in motion, Natu Tofale, your former team. Foul there on Evans Jr. Now that stat that may not be broken again this season, you can add another one right there. 31 assists tonight.
Wow.
To the Mills Albert Wellington Saints. That was number 31. Team assists. It's not often teams are getting up to that level.
That's just sharing the ball at its best, isn't it?
20s, yes. 30s is rare air. There's Coach Aaron Young. He'll be very, very happy tonight. 5 points shy of the biggest score this season. Leaning in, Pilcher with the foul. What are some of the notes that the Rams will be taking right now with the Saints coming to pay them a visit on Sunday afternoon?
Well, thinking about that game, Laufa, Hiram Harris, Bruce, that connection when they run their offense.
Will Shea Illy be back?
Maybe, potentially. Who knows?
Wow. Adding Shea Illy to this team. Turnover there by the Sharks. It would certainly be a hefty notebook down in Christchurch tonight based on what they've seen tonight. It's going to be a wonderful matchup, isn't it, Sunday afternoon? Live and free on Sky Open, here on Sky Sport as well, ESPN throughout the States, globally on FIBA YouTube. Check your local times, 3 p.m. in New Zealand. Is that Mounier? It is. Hassan Mounier getting some points. That might be his first points in the Sal's NBL.
Up to 119.
Great moment for the young man. Reefy scoring. So good to see some of the youngsters getting some burn late in this one-sided contest. Plumtree for 2, off to the Chemist Warehouse. And if he hits this, Natu, it'll be the equal top score so far this season. Mad March has certainly been mad. There's the foul from behind.
Just shows you that the speed at which the Saints are playing. Every defensive rebound they're getting, they're looking, they're searching to see if they can get early advantages, numerical advantages, where they can move the ball and get an open shot.
Well, I love what I've seen from the Hawks in offensive transition so far this season. Definitely from the Saints as well. The Rams, they just play with pure speed. So hard to stop. Reefy for back-to-back baskets. Won't go down. Now, can the Saints add to this score? Out by 42. Plenty of time left. Heke from the corner. Plumtree
again on the boards.
And he's got an arm on him. So they did have that foul to give. Joseph Reefy. Be a Saints ball off the baseline.
Great effort by Plumtree. He's showing how active he is on the boards, staying with the play.
Here he is right now. Oh, big move by Plumtree, just digging that shoulder in, and they're going to get it back. They go again. 14 on the shot clock. Nick Marshall, 35 tonight for the Saints. Saints also won the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Evans Jr. going upstairs for Heke. And the foul is going to be on Arthur Pilcher. First team foul of this last quarter, is it or no? They're in the bonus.
I'm sure Coach Quinn Clinton will have his notes, and they'll prepare really well for the Saints.
Just some of the guard matchups as well. Taylor Britt, Kaya Isaac, Tama Isaac. I think Walter Brown will be out injured still with an ankle. As we said, we may have Shea Illy back. I mean, this Saints team had that thrilling double overtime game against the Airs, which they lost. Since then, though, there's been so much to like. And some good minutes here for the locals, the youngsters. Heke. Crowd, they want more. On the outlet, Webster in and out. Reefy adds 2 on the putback. 1.2, that'll do us. So a huge win tonight for the Wellington Saints in front of a very appreciative crowd. They get home by 39 points in the end. And smiles all around. How about this man, Nick Marshall? He's your game MVP. Thanks to all of our viewers who voted tonight. 62% of you going with the Australian Nick Marshall. 35 points. His first half was sublime. Saints with the luxury of sitting down a few players through that last quarter. But gee, they will be a very happy camp in the capital tonight, Natu.
Yeah, absolutely. They're starting to get, you know, like I said before, some fluid with their offense and cohesion as a group now. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when they play the Rams. And like we said, Nick Marshall, he was outstanding. Outstanding.
What about the Sharks? Before we have a look at the stats, what about, in fact, we'll have a look at the stats first. I'll come back to that question. Chemist Warehouse stats, Marshall with 35. Dougal Meter, 6 triples. He ends up on 20. Bruce with 17. Harris 12. I mean, you can just put a line through all of them. They all scored. They all got amongst it. Alec ended up with 22. Asbury, what I would call a quiet 18 for him. Harris with 11 rebounds. Alec with 9. I reckon Harris, triple-double watch tonight. Let's have a look at the assists. Well, he had 8. Liafa with 10. Bruce with 8. A team assist total of 31 for the Saints. 3-1. That's how dominant they were. Mazinski with another 3 blocks. He's the best in the competition so far. Asbury with 4 steals. All of the stats, of course, with thanks to our official stats partner, Chemist Warehouse. Saints coaching staff on screen. And they will enjoy reading through that Chemist Warehouse stat sheet. Dougal Meter, wonderful tonight. Off the bench, playing that 6th man role so well. Got his shooting stroke back. But let's have a quick chat about the Sharks. They've already left the floor. They're gone. They're straight into the rooms. No warm down. Coach Jonathan Yim has yanked them off the floor, straight into the rooms for a chat. A win against the Nuggets in their opening game, then a heavy loss to the Rams, and a heavier loss tonight to the Saints. Where are they at?
They're struggling defensively. The first thing is, for me, they're struggling defensively, especially in transition, trying to get back. Saints have upped the tempo, and that was sort of the same sign with the Cavalry Rams as well. So they've got to work on that, and the coach wouldn't be happy with that because they've got the Jets coming into town.
And they can run, they can score.
The Jets can score too, so they're gonna have their hands full. They've got to be committed to that, and they've got to show a little bit more. I reckon just effort on the defensive end.
Well, that's what's coming up. Nuggets and the Jets tomorrow night. Rapid League from 6. Sal's NBL from 7. Panthers and the Fi on Friday night. Fi in a bit of form right now. 3-1, second on the ladder. Giants searching for their first win of the season. They're at home to the Bulls, and the Bulls will be smarting after going down to the Hawks. Airs at home Saturday afternoon against that team, the Hawks. The big question is their Illawarra Hawks contingent. Will they be there or will they not? Time will tell. Saturday night, Sharks against the Jets. Sunday, Rams and Saints, the afternoon game. Tuatara and the Giants, Sunday evening. Look at the fans. They come out in big numbers here in the capital. It was a great crowd for a Wednesday night this evening. They are all smiles, and why wouldn't they? The Saints have blasted the Sharks off the floor with a 122-83 win. On behalf of Natu Tafale and the rest of our team here on Sky Sport, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again for more Sal's NBL tomorrow night from Dunedin. Thumbs up, cheers, smiles all around. See you tomorrow.